Alright, so I'm going to be talking about um, games I played, mostly MMOs, because MMOs are a big part of my life. So, the first game I ever played, which was Runescape, my biggest MMO I played, which was my first. I spent about 2 years working on that game, and then I met my friend Pyro. His username wasn't Pyro, but when I started talking to him, when I started playing WoW, I call him Pyro because calling him by his RuneScape name is long and pointless. So after uh, I played RuneScape and I was killing some sort of like metal dragon, and I got dragon plate legs, and I'm like, holy crap, dragon plate legs! And then I'm like, yay, because I'm unlucky and rare things don't typically drop for me in any game. So I finally get a rare item, and I'm like, yay, I finally have dragon plate legs. So I put them on, and then I'm tired, so I go to sleep. I get up the next morning, and my account's hacked. Goodbye, dragon plate legs. And I was crushed by this, because it's like, I spent 2 years working on something, and then poof, it's gone. So I waited a couple months, and my friend was like, hey, do you want to play this game called Warcraft, or World of Warcraft? I call it Warcraft because it's easier. That or WoW. But, so I played Warcraft for a long time, and I started off making my friends, well, I started playing with my real life friend, Jake, Jake. And then he quit, and I had to start making friends on my own because the only reason I played MMOs was to make friends because I don't have real life friends. And while playing WoW, I met my next friend, Desia. He's probably my favorite friend today because, I don't know, he has less nerd rage. He's more laid back and plays games for fun. And my primary friends are Pyro and Desia right now because they're the only ones that log on to Vent. And so far I'm like, RuneScape, WoW. And WoW was amazing. When I started playing that game, I'm like, oh, I'm a Night Elf. Because, of course, I made a Night Elf Warrior. And, well, I would have made a Night Elf Mage, but there were no Night Elf Mages. There's actually not any Night Elf Mage right now. And so I have a Night Elf Warrior, and I'm like, yay, I thought the whole game was based around protecting Teldrassil. It's like you spawn and you're like, you protect Teldrassil. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna protect Teldrassil, level up. So I start killing stuff, and then I get up to level 60, and around level 10 I realize, hey, I'm not supposed to be protecting Teldrassil, I'm just a part of Teldrassil. As in, I come from Teldrassil, where I spawned. So I continue playing, and then about level 40 I meet Desia. And then we play together, and then he was like my rival WoW player because he was a Net of Warrior too. So we raced each other to level 60, and I beat him. And then when I hit 60, I just, played WoW until the next expansion came out. And then the next expansion came out after Burning Crusade, which was Wrath. And Wrath completely, I don't know, destroyed the game for me. It's okay. Okay, so Wrath came out, and then I decided, hey, I want to play another game for a little while, or just to be my new MMO. And my friends and I started playing a game called Warhammer Online. And I think this is when the MMO phase started, getting weird, because what my friends would do is they'd start a game and then halfway through they decide they don't like the game and then they drop it and go find a new game. Like, I was the only one who got to max level in Warhammer, which was, I believe, 40. All my other friends are reached, like, 35. And they're like, we're gonna play this new game called Aeon, or Ion, however you want to pronounce it. But I'm like, no, I don't want to play Aeon. I want to play Warhammer. I haven't played enough Warhammer to not like it yet. And they're like, no, fuck it. Oh, sorry if I bumped the mic there. We're gonna play Aeon. And Aeon's one of those games I'm like, it looks pretty, but I don't want to play it because I want to play Warhammer. So I continued playing Warhammer for a little while, but my friends were playing the Aeon beta. And then my friend that actually stayed with me, named Zen, oh, he's like, oh, I'm level 37, I'm gonna go buy Aeon and play it with them. Well, not with them, because Zen doesn't like Pyro or Dezia very much. He primarily just plays with me. So yeah, they're like, okay, Aeon time, and I'm like, I don't want to play Aeon. So I eventually start playing Aeon once it actually comes out, and I'm like, man, this game's boring. And then I start playing it, and then I start getting into it. I'm like, oh, I want this game to be good, so I'm gonna believe it's good. And then eventually everybody quits again, and they go back to Warcraft. And I'm like, my Warcraft account's expired. Or, yeah, expired. I don't want to resubscribe to Warcraft. And then, crap, I'm saying a lot. And then I continue playing Warcraft, Aeon. And I start getting my character up with my friend Zen. And then Zen completely disappears. He just stops logging on Ben, stops saying anything to me. He's gone. And I'm all by myself playing Aeon. I'm like, this game's not fun enough with many people, let alone by myself. So I just stopped playing Aeon, and then I just played console games for a while, like emulators and PlayStation 3. And then I run out of things to do, so I just watch TV when I get up. And then I eventually subscribed back to Warcraft because I'm bored, and my friends harassed me enough to start playing Warcraft again. And then as soon as I subscribed back to Warcraft, they quit. They're like, oh, we're going to play this new game called League of Legends, and obsess over it and love it. And I'm like, I just started playing Warcraft again, and I have like a year subscription to this game, so I can't just, be like, oh, your money's wasted. No, just continue playing Warcraft. And then they play League of Legends, and then they play the StarCraft 2 beta. And then they're like, oh, we found another MMO to play called Global Agenda. I'm like, I don't want to waste any more money on MMOs. I'll just continue playing Warcraft till you guys come back. So yeah, that's how I am right now. If anybody cares. This is just me vlogging about my MMO life, which is pretty much my real life. Oh well, thanks for listening if you listened. If you didn't listen, then doesn't matter.